And then down through San Marcos area, Lockhart into Bastrop as well. We'll talk about the forecasting models and what they're showing coming up.
Today marks the start of Austin's 30-day educational period for the new camping ban. That's before police start telling people experiencing homelessness to clear out of sidewalks and other areas across town.
KXAN's Jacqulyn Powell live at Austin City Hall, where she's been looking into APD's plans to make sure they are incorporating adequate mental health resources. Jacqueline?
Robert, Sydney, this is where dozens of people who were sleeping in other parts of town have started moving their things to in just the past few days. And people here tell me that they intend to continue camping around City Hall until police begin writing citations and eventually forcing them to leave. Now, even though the city's now explained its plan, people here told me today that they're still uneasy about what's to come.
I'm glad that they just didn't sweep today.
But Richard Bryant tells me he's still concerned about where he'll go and how he'll be treated in the process. APD is designating all of its district representatives and its homeless outreach street team, known as HOST, to help move people out of these areas over the next few months.
On a full-time basis, that we will have enough officers to move through the plan, and as well as informing all of our patrol officers that are doing their normal duties so that they have awareness and when it's necessary and appropriate to be able to step in and become part of the plan as well.
While HOST is made up of officers who've been trained to handle mental health issues along with social workers and paramedics, we learned not all patrol officers have received training to help them better respond to someone having a mental health crisis. That's important because Integral Care says 30 to 50% of people experiencing homelessness in Austin also struggle with mental health issues. Bryant sees it firsthand.
Well, of course, you're gonna need some kind of advocates or some kind of social services to come out here that know how to deal with the mental health, that know how to deal with rehab or the drug and alcohol problem.
In 2019, APD set out to train all officers through a 40-hour crisis intervention course, but those efforts stalled during the pandemic. As of right now, 330 of the department's patrol officers have received certification through the training, but that's not even a quarter of the total force.
In addition to that 40-hour course that APD is working to get all of its existing officers through, Texas law also requires lower-level officers to take another type of crisis intervention course, and that applies to some officers at APD. Any new Austin officers coming in will also have another 40 hours of mental health training from the Cadet Academy. So it's possible that once their training's complete, some APD officers would have 80 or even 120 total hours of mental health training. And once they go through APD's training, officers are all required to do a 10-hour mental health refresher course yearly. Live at Austin City Hall, I'm Jacqulyn Powell, KXAN News.
A new report from Travis County reveals today 12% of residents are currently living below the poverty line. For individuals, that amounts to roughly $13,000 per year. For a family of four, however, the poverty line hovers around $25,000. The report also highlighted that even though there's been a decline in poverty for families overall, single mother households in Travis County are still experiencing poverty at nearly 3 times the rate of other types of families.